So the big question is this: how do you lose all the weight that you want and actually keep it off for the rest of your life, while trying to make sense of all the noise that comes from the weight loss industry? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers.
G'day guys, and welcome to the next episode of the Weight Loss Secrets podcast. My name is Baron Grant and I'm wrapped to be with you for another day, another tip, another trick, another idea, something that is going to help you make changes in your life so your weight loss can actually happen and be long lasting without any stupid pills or potions or shakes or balloons in your gut or gastric banding and sleeves and all that sort of stuff, just with good food. It came on with food, let's get it off with food. That's what I reckon. So today I want to talk about how do we prep the right food and just provide a few little tips that are going to help you to be a rock star food prepper. Because if you prep your food, it changes the whole game for you to be able to stay on the path. So I've just got a few tips that I want to go through that will help you to be able to do that. Just some practical stuff. Number one is you have to, if you're embarking on a weight loss journey right now, the mindset has to shift. So number one, it is accepting that you have to prep food. I talk to lots of people hours and hours every day, and some people are ready to do that and others are not. They're not ready to make changes in their life to actually accept the fact that they have to prepare food. Now, when you do the right type of food, it doesn't take hours of preparation or anything silly like that, but do you have to cut up food? Yes, you have to spend time in the kitchen cutting up food. There's no way you can get around it. And the problem that we have in our convenient lifestyle that we now live in is we eat everything out of a packet. Now, here's the statistics according to Baron Grant. 99% of stuff in a packet is garbage. That's really not a statistic, but I just made that up. But I'm just trying to make a point that most things that come in a packet, first of all, they're packed full of carbohydrates and they're not even really food. Remember, food that's in a packet generally, for the most part, is just product that is imitating food. It's not really food. It's so these companies can sell you bucket loads of stuff. They pack them full of sugar and carbohydrates. So we just keep going back and buying more of it because it's tasty for us. And then we gain weight and we wonder why. But to eat healthy food, you have to prepare it. You can't always grab it out of the freezer and put it in the microwave. You can't just grab it out of the pantry and put it straight in your mouth. That stuff has all sorts of horrible preservatives in it and all sorts of horrible other stuff generally, and we want to avoid that stuff. So accepting that you need to prepare your food is a really, really, really important part of this journey because it changes your headspace. Helps you to realize that actually, if I want healthy food, I've got to cut stuff up. So get your head in that place first. Accept that it's time to prepare my food and I'm going to enjoy that time in the kitchen. We all have extra time that we think we don't have. We all have extra time that we can put into food prep, but we've got to accept that that is just as important as the 10 extra minutes we want to stay on our phone. Maybe that's a bit too harsh, but we've got to make sure we actually put a little bit of time aside to prep our food, and it doesn't take long. The second little tip is that find a meal that you like that fits in with the process of losing weight. If you're not sure what foods, head back to one of my other videos earlier on where I talk about the best foods for weight loss. But find a food that you like or a meal that you like and make up a batch of it. So it could be a big soup that maybe you know that you rushed at lunchtimes. Cook up a big batch of soup, whack that in the fridge or in the freezer so it's set and it's ready to go. And you've made it, you know what's in it, it's clean, it's awesome. You might like some sort of chicken and veg type of meal, right? Make that up 10 times. Make a batch of it. It'll take you one afternoon or an hour or so. Make up a batch of it, and then even if you're not wanting to eat that all the time, you've got it sitting there ready for the days that you're really rushed. So find the same meal. And if you want to eat the same meal for 5 days in a row, that's completely fine. Remember, how do we lose weight? There's two metrics or two levers you got to pull. It's reduction of calories and it's reduction of carbohydrates. As long as that meal fits that bill, you can eat it 50 times in a row if you want. But you probably won't want to, it get a little bit boring. But my point is, don't feel like you have to make a new, fresh, crazy meal every single meal or every single day. You can repeat that same thing over and over again. So that's tip number 2, is just literally make up a big batch of the stuff that you really like and keep eating that. All right, so that's the tip, right? Number 3 is plan your week. Okay, so set up for the week. What am I going to actually eat this week? if you try to sort of plan it out day to day, you'll end up falling apart a little bit because you won't be ready. You won't have the right food in the house. I remember working with a lady, and on the first day, she went to McDonald's. The first day. I was like, what? And she goes, I just didn't have the right food in the house. And I said, well, you're not ready to start then. If you don't have some lettuce in the house, or you don't have some salad, stuff, or some veggies in the house, then go and get some and be ready for the week. And plan out your week. Have a rough idea of what you're going to be eating Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Without a plan of just even roughly knowing what you're going to be eating in those days, you will literally fall off. Because crap stuff happens, right? Crap stuff happens every day. And, the car runs out of petrol, or you're running late for school, or you just feel crappy and frumpy for the day, and you wake up and you're feeling blah, and you're like, stuff it, I'll just eat some chocolate. All of these things happen. But if you're prepared and your food is sitting there, like right there in the fridge, it's much easier to grab that because it's prepared, ready to go, than it is to go, drive down to the shop and buy some crap food. If you want to be successful, you have to be a bit prepared. And this leads me to my next point. So plan out your weeks. Let me finish on that. Plan out your week. Have your days laid out so you know exactly what you're going to be eating on those days. That'll make a big, big difference for your ability to stay strict to the process. Because make no mistake, you have to be strict. And I'll just divert a little bit. I remember talking to a lady once, and she said she did relaxed keto. Relaxed keto. So that means you half-heartedly do keto. So that means you're not doing it, whatever the program is that you chose. Oh, I'm not a keto lover, but whatever you choose to do, you've got to do it properly. Otherwise, you'll never get the results that you want. You do have to be strict if you want results. You do have to do it every day if you want results. But the only way to do that really is to be prepared. You've got to be prepared. Okay. Now, my fourth little tip is do a little prep the night before. You don't have to prep on a Sunday afternoon for 20 meals for the week, anything silly like that. You can just prep the night before. It's pretty simple. You can like, it could be 10 o'clock at night, it could be 8 o'clock at night. Take 15 minutes, that's it, just 15 minutes, and you can prep your whole day. You can get some veggies out, cut them up, you've got your veggie snacks, you can get some yogurt out, you can prep your lunch, do up a chicken salad that's in the fridge ready to go, all good. And then you literally have your bag. I know this sounds really simple, but life is actually, it's much more simple than what we think to lose weight. Have it in a bag, in the fridge, ready to go. You leave, you head off to work, and you just grab the bag and you're gone. That is the best way on earth to do it. Then it's not frozen because you've done it just the night before and it's fresh. It still tastes really good the next day, coming straight out of the fridge. It's a really, really good way to go. But for me, it's all about having a bit of a plan and then executing the preparation component. If you're not prepared, you will fall off this wagon. And the biggest challenge is that one mistake becomes two, becomes three, becomes four, becomes off. People talk about a cheat day or a cheat meal. Well, cheat meals generally become cheat weeks, cheat months, I'll get back on it next Monday that never comes around. So I just want you to take away those thoughts today. This is a short one today, but take away those thoughts of what can actually change in my life? What can I do to be a bit more prepared? Because really, the only reason I see people stuffing up is because they're not prepared. And I know life's busy. I spend all of my day, we got 5 kids, life's crazy, right? But I spend most of my day speaking to women, particularly, who have kids and families, and they're busy and they're working flat out, and they've got kids, and their life's full on. And so doing that little bit of prep before you go to bed at night helps you to work that out and to stay on track. Because if you do that little bit of 15-minute prep before you go to bed and you're prepped for the next day, instead of waking up in the morning and thinking, oh crap, what am I going to eat? What am I going to do? It's all set. Maybe you wake up late. Maybe one of the kids gets sick and you got to go pick him up from school, and you're like, oh, now I don't have my food with me. What am I going to do? But you're already prepped. It's there. So all of the things can go crap in the day, but if you're prepared, you got your little esky, or you got your bag of food, or you just set. Just eat that stuff. But at the same time, remember, we got to remove the emotion from food. Food has become emotional in our society, which is ridiculous. And when we attach emotion to food, then we become precious and silly about it. Things like coffee become very precious for people, and it's a drink, and it's actually not very good for us. So we shouldn't really drink it, but we associate so much emotion with it. Alcohol's the same, and food's the same. The food that you need to eat is maybe not always super exciting if you want to lose weight. So you package it up, have it in your bag, it's ready to go, but take away the emotion out of it and go, that's the food I've got to eat for the day, and it's all good. I probably could do a whole nother podcast episode on emotional eating and food around that, but the food that you need to eat can be packaged up, put in a bag and take them with you. Just do the prep the night before. That's my biggest tip for the day. Do a little bit of prep the night before. Don't be scared of cutting stuff up as well. Take some time, enjoy the moment, and remember that by cutting this food up, by doing a bit of preparation, you're putting good fuel into your body. And with good fuel in comes good energy out, and you'll feel so much better about where you're at, how you feel, joints, ankle joints, knee joints, back. Your head will feel better and you'll gain more confidence because the weight will come off. That's enough words from me, I think, today. But be prepared. If you are prepared, you won't fear because you'll be ready to go. And no matter what's thrown at you on that day, it's not going to make you eat crap. That's what we're trying to avoid. So be prepared. Do your little bit of work the night before and you'll be okay. There's my tips. Be prepared. You'll smash this thing. Talk soon.